What's up guys, True Soldier here, and today I'm going to do my first After Effects tutorial using Element 3D. So I'm doing this because a friend of mine asked me to, and I'm going to be going through a bunch of stuff for beginners, but advanced people can still watch this too. The first step, just find your clip wherever it is, and drag into the project tab. Alright, next thing you want to do is take your clip and drag it down into a new composition. Alright, so here is our little clip. You can scroll back and forth, or you can ram preview to get a better view of it. Alright, so this is my little cinematic, and first things first, whenever you're making a tracked video, you want to right click it and click track camera. Now this will do this in the background. You can do other stuff, but I'm just going to leave my computer alone for a little while, so be back in a minute. Alright, I'm back, and so you'll have a lot of little colorful dots on your screen, and these are your little track points. It just keeps track of where everything's moving and what's staying and whatnot. So the next step is going to go to Layer, New, Solid. You want to name this layer Element, and then just hit OK. Alright, next up, go to your Effects and Presets tab. Just gonna wait for this to load in a little bit. Alright, then search for Element. Then drag Element onto the Element layer. Alright, so here you have your clip, and so one thing that we can do is make a text layer. So set your text button up here and just click anywhere to start typing. For this video I'm just going to put tutorial. Alright, now that we have our text layer right here, we can turn it off. Just click this little eye over here, it turns it off, but it's still there, you just can't see it. So now we can go to Custom Layers, Custom Text and Mask, and choose the first one, and click on the text layer that you just made on this tutorial. Alright, and if you want to add a logo, and also you want to find the picture of that logo, and just go in the project tab. You want to drag it into your project. Alright, so here it is. We just want to drag it down here. Make it smaller so I can see the whole thing. No, actually it doesn't matter. So if you want to put your logo in, you have to mask it out. So we're going to click our mask tool up here, zoom in 100%, and we can hit H and move around. So we're going to start masking it out. Try and get it as precise as you can, because it'll turn out a lot better. Alright, so here is our mask. Now we can go over here and turn it off just like we did the text layer. Alright, now we can go to our element layer, go to Effects and Controls, and under Text and Mask, we can choose the second one and choose our picture that we made. Alright, now we're all set up, so we can go to Scene Setup, Extrude. Here is our first text, and we can customize it by selecting the bevel. After you select your bevel, you can change the thickness of the text by scrolling down on the extrude. That looks about right. And we want to change the color, so I'm going to make my text very reflective, so I'm going to make diffuse color black, and I'm going to go down, turn the reflection intensity up to 100%, and I'm going to turn the Fresnel all the way up to 1, or for refraction turn that up to 100%, and Fresnel down to -1. And as you can see, the text is pretty shiny and reflective. So now we want our logo. Get our logo in here. We want to right click extrusion model, click duplicate model. Go down here to the second one, click on it, and change the path from 1 to 2. And you want to change the custom path under extrusion model. You want to change the custom path to path 2. This is our logo. And that's pretty much it. It will have the same settings and everything. And we can hit OK. Alright, so after you hit OK, you have your text in here, but it's not motion tracked or anything right now. So to fix that, we want to go to our cinematic clip, click on the effect up here, and you'll see a bunch of little dots and everything, and you just want to find a spot that appears to be on the ground like this. If you have a ton of points, you can circle them like that, and it usually gives you a good spot, but for me, I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to right click it and create text and camera. Alright, so this text layer that I just made we don't need, so we can delete it. Alright, so now we have our text and it's motion tracked, but the motion tracking camera in After Effects isn't the best, so that's why the text is moving a ton and the camera's not really moving that much. So to change the position of the text and everything, it's not where we want it right now, but to move the text and everything, you want to go to your element layer, go to group 1, particle replicator, and position X and Y changes your X position on the X-axis, position on the Y-axis, move it up and down, left and right. Position on the Z-axis is forward and backwards. So you can just put it wherever you want. I'm gonna move it over here. And to go move your logo, just go to group 2, same thing. And yeah. Alright, so right now you have your text and everything, and it's reflective, but it's not reflective of its environment. So, to make it reflective of this environment that we have, we want to go to our layer that we made earlier. We want to hold Control and press D. Control D duplicates the layer, so now we have 2. And go up here to the effect on the layer that you duplicated and hit delete because we don't need it. And right click it, we're going to rename it to environment. Alright, now go to your element layer, go back to the custom layers, custom texture maps, and for the first one, choose environment. Alright, so after you make it to environment, you can go back to your scene setup and click on the environment tab. Now this is your default environment. What you want to do is change it to the custom layer 1. Yeah, now this is what your environment is. Now the text is reflective of your video, which makes it look a lot better. And it changes a lot depending on how the light reflects on it and everything like that, so it makes it look super sick. Alright, so let's say I'm going to do a random preview real quick just to get a nice little view of it. Alright, so this is kind of what it looks like right now. Like I said, the motion tracking isn't the best. But let's say that you wanted, say I wanted my logo to rotate. Well, to do that, we want to go to a point in time where we want it to be finished rotating. Let's say I want it finished rotating right here. Then we can go to group 2, I believe it is. This is my logo. And then you want to go to rotation, and I'm going to keyframe Y rotation. I'll go back to the beginning point in the video and just turn it up till however much you want it to rotate. Now from this point in time it'll start rotating until that first keyframe that you made, so it'll rotate a little bit. Now let's say you wanted your text to be scattered apart and then come back together at a certain point in time. So we want to go to our text, which is group 1, particle replicator, and go to scatter, I believe it is, scatter Z. Wait. Before you do that, we want to make sure that particle look multi-object is enabled. Now we can change the Z scatter. We want to keyframe it at this point in time, go back to a beginning point in time, and turn it up. The more you crank it up, the more scattered and awkward it'll be. So the closer we get to that point, that first keyframe that we made, it will be closer together. And just simple stuff like this makes every little bit just look amazing. Now I'm going to do a RAM preview and give you a last little view of it. Alright, so that's basically what it looks like, guys. It's pretty sick, but as you can tell, the motion tracking isn't very smooth. It's not how you wanted to fix that. I'm not going to do that in this video, but because it'll take a while. But just go all the way to the very end and just move like I showed you earlier. Just go to the keyframe the position, and then just move it to position like that looks like it was in the very beginning, so that it'll stay at the same position throughout the whole time. But yeah, thanks guys. My first tutorial. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.